Hello everybody, this is Solar Tiger with another video, and today's video is going to be all about air plants, which are called tillandsias. So these are air plants, and as you can see, air plants do not need any soil. So you don't have to put them in pots or anything like that. And I just started growing these recently. So today's video is going to be about Tislandsia, or air plants. So here I have 3 air plants that I bought from eBay, but they're also available from online shops and from garden centres and nurseries, and we shall look at these. Now, Tillandsia are a group of plants that originate from Mexico and South America. Air plants do have some roots. It's not very easy to see here, but some do have roots, and they use these to attach themselves to tree branches, cliff faces, and even electricity and telephone wires. And as you can see, they don't grow in the soil. Now, Tislandsias are a group of plants called tropical epiphytes, which means they grow on the trunks of branches and trees without drawing any nutrients from the tree that they're growing on. So they're not parasitic like mistletoe, which actually grows into the tree and draws nutrients from the tree. So these are non-parasitic plants. There are another group called lithophytes, which grow on rocks and stones and boulders. So that's a different group of Tislandias. So the plants obtain their water and nutrients from the air, hence they're called air plants, and they do this with special water-absorbing cells called trichomes on the leaves, which makes the leaves look silvery, which you probably can't see all that well here. Let me just focus on the plant. You can see the little silvery parts here, and those are the trichomes. It's harder to see on these plants because they have been freshly watered, but you can see here the silvery part, that's the trichomes, and the trichomes are the cells that absorb nutrients and water from the air. They do grow in the tropical climes where the moisture content of the air is higher, but I'll come back to that later. These plants do grow flowers. Obviously these ones are not flowering, but they do grow flowers in all different colours, and they do flower once in their life. So after they flower, now the flower can last a week or so, or up to several months depending on the species, but after the plant flowers it will slowly begin to die, although this can take many months for the plant to actually die. And while this is happening, the plant also reproduces. They reproduce either from the seeds from the flowers or by growing small offsets at the base of the plant, and these are called pups. And if you're patient and you feed your plants and water them regularly, then these small mini plants will grow into adult-sized plants, and you can increase the number of plants you have by this method. Now these plants grow in tropical climates. As I said, they come from Mexico and South America, and we'll have to bear that in mind with the plant care. Now there are different species of Tislandia, and I just have 3 here, and I have put labels under them. So this one here is a Ionantha green. You can get a red version of this plant. This one is called Tislandia tricolor meloncrata, and this has flowers, but also the leaves turn bright shades of red and purple, so that'll look interesting when it comes to flowering. And this one on the end here is called Tislandia juncea, and it's like a tall sort of spiky thing. So this is just 3 of the species that are available. There are many to choose from. I bought these plants from eBay, and there are a multitude to choose from on eBay. I paid about £4 or £5 for each of these plants from eBay. So I come to the care of them. When you first get the plants, it's advisable to soak them in water for a couple of hours to sort of rehydrate the plant, and when you soak them, they turn a brighter shade of green. These ones have been soaked very recently, in the last 10 or 20 minutes, so they are very bright green. As the plants dry out, they sort of become more grayer in colour, so that's how you can tell how well watered they are. After you water them, you need to shake them to remove any excess water, because the water can fill up in the base of the plant and it can lead to rotting, and that's not what you want. So if you soak them once a week, give them a good soaking. Actually soak them in water once a week, and every other day, say, you can mist them with water using a sprayer such as this one. This is just plain water that has been allowed to stand so the chlorine dissipates. Well, because I keep fish, I put a drop or 2 of water dechlorinator in it to speed that up. And you just spray the plants. You spray the plants until water starts dripping off them, and then give them a good shake to dispel any excess water. So if the plants don't have any flowers, you can actually soak them. If your plant is in bloom, then it's just advisable to dip the plant, the part of the plant below the flower, and keep the flower dry. So the plants become stiffer when you've watered them, when they soaked up the water, and as they dry out, the leaves come a bit more floppy. That's another way to work out when you need to water them. If you want your plants to grow well, you need to feed them. So advice on feeding on the internet varies a bit, but it comes to the fact that you should feed them once or twice a month using a bromeliad fertilizer or air plant fertilizer. I have some over here. This is the air plant fertilizer. This stuff is organic and it's ready to use. It has a composition of, this is a balanced fertilizer, NPK fertilizer 777. So it has a balanced formula, and you spray it on the plants after you have misted them. Is the advice with that. So once or twice a month to feed them, and that will keep your plants in good health. Regarding light, air plants need bright light but not direct sunlight. So you can have them near a window that has something like a net curtain or something to diffuse the light a bit, or I just put them on the shelf up there and they do alright. So as the plant grows, some bits will go dry and you can trim them off, and some of the leaves at the base go dry and you can trim them off as necessary. to keep the plant neat. Now, there are different ways of displaying your air plants. You can mount them on wood, like driftwood, or you can put them in glass globes and in seashells and all sorts of other things. When deciding where to put them or mount them, bear in mind the plants do need watering, and you'll be spraying them with water, so it's best not to mount them on something that can soak up water or get damaged by it. And if you put your plants in globes, then make sure they have good ventilation to prevent your plant going rotten. You can attach your plants to wood or whatever with fishing line or wire. The only thing is, do not attach your plants using wire that contains copper or any. Do not put your plants in contact with copper metal, as it will kill them. As I said, as the plants grow, they flower and produce offsets, and when the offset is about a third to half the size of the parent plant, you can remove it and treat it as a separate plant, or you can leave it in situ so that it forms a clump. So that's how the plants grow. There are many different species available, and the prices vary as well. So this is Solar Tiger with a video about air plants or Tislandia. If you found this interesting or helpful, please click like and subscribe to my channel, where I have other videos on fish keeping and DIY solar power systems and electronics. So until next time, this is Solar Tiger saying thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye. Thank you.